So you wake up today and you got Nick Cannon and Dwayne Wade and Deshaun Jackson and whoever else they want to have on the internet to distract us. But you always got these black people who want to talk black but live white. Like, the more I study, the more you research and investigate, you come to realize that I understand what's wrong with our sisters. They've been forced to put up with, tolerate a bunch of spineless, gutless, butt-kissing Negroes. If you go back in history and just listen to how a lot of our sisters talked back in the day, they've always bitched and complained about these weak ass niggas. Like, let's use Deshaun Jackson and fucking Nick Cannon. You wanna uphold white people. You wanna live white, act white, walk around like you're better than your own people. I mean, like, we are surrounded by, and it's so hard to process it all because you have to understand, like, you hear these Negroes talk about Black Wall Street, right? And how they bombed it and burned it down. Of course they bombed it, and of course they burned it down when the men run off. What are the women and children left to do but flee for their fucking safety while the men run off? And I'm not saying all, but most of these Negroes are not warriors. Most of these Negroes are not fighters. Most of these Negroes are not builders. The only thing most of these Negroes own is hot air, because that's all you get. As Black America, all we get is hot fucking air. All we get is butt kissing. All we get is tap dancing. Why? Because most of our people are not willing to build whatsoever. All they want to do is run around and blow hot air. The one thing I will say about social media that it's really helped me understand how sick some of our people are. And I'm not going to say, it's just the men, because some of the women participate in this butt kissing, boot licking activity as well. But most of these women are just victims of these men. Most of these black women are just victims. Why? Because the black male, not all, but most of these Negroes out here running around with tight pants on and purses and trying to out-twerk their women. That's what these black women have been forced to deal with. I listened to a sister yesterday, and she really got me to thinking about some of you Negroes. You'll smile, you'll cheese, you'll make the white man feel happy, pleasant all day long. But you'll come home to the black woman and give her hell, and she's done nothing to you. And it's generations of this. When our people walked off the plantations, we didn't get Malcolms, we didn't get Martins, we didn't get Harriets, we didn't get builders, we didn't get fighters. We got some, but we mainly got people like T.I., the Gayle Kings, the 50 Cents, the Snoop Dogs, the Nick Cannons. Like Nick Cannon, basically We're still on the plantation, and Nick Cannon is in the process of getting punished in front of all the other black people to remind the rest of us not to step out of line. None of these Negroes own anything. None of these Negroes want to build anything. I mean, if you think about all the way back to the 80s, I never really realized what I was hearing or what I was listening to, but these butt-kissing Negroes have always been there. Back when I was growing up, it was called wanting to go mainstream. You always heard these rappers and these entertainers talk about making it mainstream. Basically, they want to be able to sell out Black America and be accepted by these white folks. And don't get me wrong, I have a complete and total problem with Europeans. Okay? I don't want to hear their cheddar white noise of bullshit games that they try to play. But you have Negroes out here that need to be dealt with. You can say what you want to say about white people. You can say what you want to say about the Klan. But when the Klan marched, they leave death and destruction in their path. Don't get me wrong, I know in slavery, I know throughout history, you've had black people that have fought and they've died. And now while our freedom fighters die, the Nate Turners and all the others that we don't know about, the Malcolms and all the others that we don't know about, while they were murdered and killed by the European terrorists, all of these butt-kissing, tap-dancing Negroes just stood around and watched. You got to think about how spineless these Negroes are now. If you go on YouTube, you have butt-kissing Negroes, tap-dancing, butt-kissing, shit-talking Negroes on YouTube, on Facebook, on social media, talking about the black woman. The black be this, the black be that, the black be this, and the black be that. As a black male, I have to apologize to you sisters because I never really understood what a lot of y'all were saying. I never understood what a lot of y'all were actually dealing with. But I understand now. A lot of you women have only asked for a man. Not a male, a man. Someone with a spine, with some type of a fucking backbone. Generation after generation. I've listened to it. 60s conversations, 70s conversations. Black women have always just wanted the men to be men. But I don't understand where all of the weakness and the gutlessness comes from. But we have multiple generations of black men who are only out to destroy each other. Like I said, say what you want to say about white people, right or wrong. Right or wrong. Them motherfuckers stick together, period. And even after all of the wars that the Europeans have fought against different countries, black people are the only ones that refuse to get a fucking spine. And don't get me wrong, a handful of us can't do this. When you have a handful of us that are willing, but millions that are not, so the rest of them will just stand around and watch us die. That's what happened during slavery. That's what happened to Malcolm and Martin. And I don't even agree with Martin, but he spoke some truth, and when they killed him, nothing happened. When the Negroes killed Malcolm, nothing happened. Then you fast forward to 2020, and you got all of these butt-kissing Negroes everywhere you look. I don't care whether it's on YouTube, whether it's on regular TV. As black people, I don't understand what's going to happen to us, but at this rate, from what I'm seeing, we will not exist. Black America will not exist because of one, these men. The men. These men are running around willing to let Black America die. All of these Negroes that'll sit up here and tell you how much money they got, what they own, what kind of cars they have, what kind of women they date, but they forget to tell you that they don't have a spine. They forget to tell you that they're gutless. They forget to tell you that they have shit on their face from all the ass that they kiss. Most of these Negroes do not want to rebuild. That is why we are presently in this fucking position we are in today. None of these black males are willing to defend themselves against anyone. The only ones that most of these Negroes are willing to harm are each other. There is no conscious community. There is no pro-black. All it is fucking hot air, exploitation, gimmicks, Negroes wanting to sell other Negroes documentaries and fucking shit niggas unheard for hundreds and hundreds of years. It's all about the exploitation. But if we look around and we expect anything to change with the help of any of these butt-kissing Negroes, we are literally out of our fucking minds. But just remember, if we get our reparations, if we get what's owed to us, all of that white noise, all of these boot-licking, butt-kissing black traitors will go away.